Here you are, feeling good, source energy, eager about more exposure to life, which causes you to more clearly know what you want. And when you think about all of the perspectives that source has here in this physical form, and all of the exposure to all of the experiences that all are having, you must understand that there is a huge becoming that is taking place that then law of attraction is responding to. Do you now see how the universe expands? And do you now see a little bit why you'd be willing to come forth? Because you want to be part of the deciding of this expanding experience. So now do you understand a little more clearly what those two vibrational reference points are? There's the non-physical you that was you before you were you, but became even more emphatically what it is because of what you've been doing when you've been banging around here. In other words, this is the expanded version of you. And when you keep up with you, or when you move in the direction of that which you are, you feel so good. We like to refer to that as a sort of vibrational gap. So who you really are loves. So when you find someone that you don't think is love worthy, rotten person that they are, did something bad to you or somebody, and you look at them, and in all of your logic you condemn them as well as their behavior, that hatred that you feel is because you have chosen a thought which has a vibrational frequency that's very far from the love that you really are. Now, your logic says, why would I love something so utterly unlovable? Why would I love something that's easier to hate? And we say, well, we know hating is easy. It's also lazy. When you just look at something and you have a knee-jerk response to it, then it controls your vibrational patterning. And when it controls your vibrational patterning, you're not in control. And more important, you're not being who you are. You are one who loves, and when you don't love, you feel the vibrational gap. You are one who knows your worthiness, and when you feel unworthy, you create a vibrational distance between who you are letting yourself be and who you are. We call that resistance. Letting yourself be who you are is the allowing of who you are. So there is resisting who you are, there is allowing who you are, there is widening the gap, there is closing the gap, there is blending, there is not allowing the blending. In other words, a blended being is one who consciously reaches for thoughts that allow you to be blended with who you are. So you don't have the power to do the blending. Law of attraction's doing the blending. You only have the power of choosing the frequency that allows the blending or doesn't allow the blending. And this wonderful emotional guidance system that you have tells you that. And it is so wonderful because it tells you what you're doing vibrationally, but it is also your indication of how you're doing in relationship to the things that you want. In other words, it's the way you quantify your journey. It's the way you can tell every time whether you're moving in the direction of what you want or whether you're moving in opposition to what you want. As Jerry and Esther travel from Phoenix to San Diego, it's not hard for them to make the journey because they understand it. They know that it's west. They know about how many miles it is. And so they never set off in fear or trepidation that they might get lost out there in the desert or that they might not achieve their destination. They never get out there halfway and feel so uncomfortable that they're not yet there yet, that in their disorientation, they turn around and go back to Phoenix. They don't lose their way because they understand the journey. But we see so many of you losing your way between sickness and wellness because you haven't figured out how to quantify the journey. We see you losing your way between not having a relationship that you want and having it, or not having the money you want and having it, because even though you often start off in the direction of what you want, since 99% and more of every journey is completed vibrationally before you see the physical evidence of it, when you take score and you don't have evidence, you automatically assume in most cases that you must not be doing the right thing. And then you do get disoriented and you often do turn around and go back to Phoenix. And so your emotions are the way you quantify your journey. And the best way that we've ever found of describing it to you is by saying to you that as you are exploring contrast here in your physical body, and you're giving birth to these rockets of desires, and the source energy part of you is literally becoming that vibrational being that you have offered, and law of attraction is then responding to that vibrational stance of who you have become. The feeling experience to you is you can feel the calling of that. It's like that whole process creates a current, a stream, like a river that is moving very fast, and everything that you want is downstream, you see. So we see so many of our friends, you take your boat down to the river, you've got your oars in your hands, you get in the water and you turn your boat upstream and you begin paddling very hard. And we say, why not turn and go with the current? And you say, oh, that seems very lazy to me. And we say, but the current is moving and there's such power in it. Why not benefit from the power of the stream? And you say, well, I see others who I respect pointed upstream. It must be the right thing to do. And we say, why are you listening to them rather than to your own instinct and your own logic that downstream is more effective? And you say, I never really thought about it. It has not occurred to me lately to do what feels natural. I've been listening to others and look how many of them are pointed upstream. It must be the right way to go. And anyway, the trophies and monuments that I've noticed are given to those who really work hard against this current. And so I'm going to persevere. I'm going to be virtuous and valiant. I'm going to do the hard thing because, Abraham, no gain comes without pain. And we listen to your irrational logic. And then we always announce to you, you have free will. And we certainly honor anything that you want to do. However, nothing that you want is upstream. And the reason that we know that so clearly is because we've seen the whole picture. We know how it works. We know who you are. We know who you were before you came into this body. We've seen who you are now that you are here. You've explored the contrast. You've given birth to endless rockets of desires. And we know that the larger part of you has become that expanded version. And we know that law of attraction is responding to that larger version. And we know that that's what creates your current. And we know that everything that you want is that away. And so when you begin to understand that the stream is moving, and that when you are moving in the direction of who you really are, you feel the ease of it, and when you move in opposition, you feel the resistance of it, then you begin to understand that you can always tell, no matter where you are in relationship to what you want, when you put your boat in the river, it doesn't matter if you put it in at discouragement, or if you put it in at optimism, or if you put it in at hope, or if you put it in at knowing, or if you put it in at pessimism, or if you put it in at fear, or if you put it in at anger or despair. It doesn't matter where you put your boat in the water. The only thing that matters is that you know that the stream's moving that way, and if you will let go of those oars, if you will let go of the resistance, if you will let go of your justification, if you will let go of your anger, if you will let go of those thoughts that don't feel good to you, the stream will carry you, and it will carry you quickly, and it will carry you toward everything that you want. Sometimes our physical friends listen to us and we crow about how good it is to feel good. Love and appreciation and joy, eagerness, passion, that's who you really are. And anything less than that is unnatural to some degree, all the way down there to that despair that you sometimes feel. Down there where those really bad feeling emotions are is your perception of no power. And up here where these really good feeling emotions are is your perception of empowerment. And all of your emotions are about those graduations of your being who you really are, or you're pinching yourself off from who you really are. Every emotion that you feel is about that. So sometimes our physical friends listen to us and they say, all right, Abraham, we'll take you at your word, although it seems foreign to us because we have enjoyed so beating our brains out as we paddle upstream for so long. But we'll take you at your word, and we will accept that feeling good might have some merit. I'm willing to try to feel good if it will get me what I want. And we say, you've forgotten that what you want is feeling good. No, what I want is more money. What I want is more money and a lover and a big house. That's what I want. And we say, but everything you want is because you think you will feel better in having it. So you say, all right, I accept that up there is where the good feeling is. And here I am down here where I don't feel so good. So I will put my boat in the stream. I will turn it downstream. I will put a motor on my boat, and I will move down there to all of the things that I want. And we say, you don't have to put a motor on your boat. The stream will carry you. And if you are putting a motor on your boat, then you don't understand the stream. And if you are putting a motor on your boat, you're turning upstream every single time. In other words, it isn't until you understand that you can completely let go of those oars, and when you do, the stream will turn you and carry you toward what you want, that you really begin to understand what the art of allowing is. The art of allowing is knowing, trusting at first, hoping maybe at first, then coming to trust, then coming to believe. The art of allowing is knowing that what I want has been created, and that my job is now to relax in an attitude of worthiness and let the universe deliver to me through the path of least resistance these things that I want. And so that's the best sales job we've ever done, in helping you to understand the big picture, in helping you to understand who you are, in helping you to understand the vibrational relationship between who you're being and who you really are, in helping you to understand what the call of source really is and why it feels the way it does, in helping you to understand your emotions.